We'll call the council meeting to order. Everybody stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, take the roll.
O'Connor.
Here.
Morissette.
Here.
Alms.
Here.
DeZiel.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Atkins Hoggett. Here. Hall. Here.
All right, go to comments and suggestions from citizens present. Again, this is for anything that is not currently on the agenda, and please try to keep it concise and short. And is there anybody that would like to comment? Right.
This is going to be high tech
Okay.
because I did the posters myself. But good evening. It's a beautiful night. So I'm here to talk about the Hudson Library funding. My name is Roy Schoberg. I live at 1108 Vine Street in the city of Hudson. And as we are all keenly aware, there continues to be a rift between the Hudson Library and St. Croix County over the funding of the libraries in our county. And recently, the administration committee at the county and the county board have already passed a resolution regarding next year's county library tax. And in a vote of 12-2, the resolution continues an offset of the reimbursement otherwise due our own Hudson Library. So the impasse continues. So I've been searching for a solution to this situation for a long time, as you all know, and would like now to share with you what might be a way to end the disagreement between the St. Croix County Board and the Hudson Library and its principal partner, our city of Hudson. So here are the benefits of the proposed solution. Number one, we return to 100% funding. So that's been the concern, is that we've been doing this offset, and now with this new solution, we go all the way back up to 100% funding by the county for all of the rural circulation that visits our library. Number two, unlike what I was trying to do last year, this time there's no required city library tax increase at all, because the city remains a member of the joint library, and as such, continues to qualify for avoiding the county library tax by merely paying the average of the last 3 years. So that running balance can continue. Third, this is important to me, so the county would once again allocate funds to our neighboring libraries for the use of their libraries by the residents of the town of Hudson and the town of St. Joseph. So presently, when those residents use our neighboring libraries, it's completely uncompensated. So this was a return to just like what was done before the joint library was formed. That's item 3. Item 4, we run into this whenever we try to pass a library tax increase by our own city. So the stringent levy limits would no longer apply to the funding of the Hudson Library by the town of St. Joseph or the town of Hudson. These municipalities would no longer need to concern themselves with demands for increases in funding for the Hudson Library when they are already terribly constrained by the state levy limits. In fact, just like the town of Troy, their residents could visit any library and the county's support would follow them to whichever library they choose to frequent. And fifth, and I like this one the best of all, public financial support for the Hudson Library could increase more easily because all it would take would be the willingness of this city council to authorize a funding increase. The county's support would necessarily follow. Here's why. If due to a funding increase by the city council, it raises the cost per collection item or cost per book. So you raise it, the cost per book rises. And so then the county says, how many books did the rural residents check out, and at that higher price? So for example, if the city raised the funding for the library, say by $30,000, the county would probably have to reciprocate and raise funds by another $20,000. So it's almost like a match, not dollar for dollar, but it comes pretty close. So the obstacles of the levy limit constraint on our partners is now removed, and it just takes the action of this city council. So how is this done? So the library needs to be reorganized. Here's what happens. So the city of Hudson and the village of North Hudson remain members of the joint library. And the town of Hudson and the town of St. Joseph would cease being members, hopefully voluntarily. And since the county's support of the joint library would now increase to more than 1/3 of our library's whole budget, the county would appoint 2 members to the Board of Trustees, the city would appoint still 3, and then the village of North Hudson 1, and then the school district 1. So there'd now be 7 members on the Board of Trustees. And hopefully the members that we would pick to be on the Board of Trustees would be very supportive of public libraries. So I ask you to study the merits of my proposal. I'm providing it to the city in written form signed by me, and I'm also providing a number of extra copies so that each of you can have one. But again, to wrap this up, the 2 most compelling reasons to enact this change: number 1, it provides a simplified way to increase our library's funding. I've been after that forever. Randy, you know that. So simplified way to increase the library's funding. And second, the one that bugs me, the one that I can't stop going after, is it now would discontinue the uncompensated use of our neighboring libraries by the residents of town of Hudson and the town of St. Joseph. That to me is unfair. So finally, I want to thank the finance director for the St. Croix County, Ken Witt, who prepared a spreadsheet that shows the financial impact of who this would have had this proposal been in effect this year, and how it increases the funding for not only our library, but also the neighboring libraries. So I know it's not on the agenda, so there's no discussion, so thanks for hearing me. And I'll provide my signed copy to the city clerk and extra copies for the distribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Any other comments? Any other comments? Hearing none, we'll close that portion of the agenda. Next up is consent agenda.
Consent agenda items for tonight's meeting are as follows. Approve the meeting minutes from the August 5th, 2019 regular council meeting. Approve the claims in the amount of $1,085,256.28. Approve the regular operator license applications as listed on the issue sheet. Approve the secondhand dealer license application submitted by Backroom Vintage located at 226 Locust Street and Nostalgia located at 1901 Ward Avenue for the licensing period of August 20th, 2019 to June 30th, 2021. Approve a certified survey map for 815 Wisconsin Street, Willow River Cemetery Association. Approve a preliminary plat for the southeasterly quarter of St. Croix County, tax parcel 236-1975-10-001, Park Place LLC. Approve a fence easement agreement for 2717 Galway Court, Patrick Hodges and Rachel Sitz. Approve change order number 1 in the amount of $34,723 for the stormwater improvements at 10th and St. Croix Street. Approve the bid received from Neo Electric in the amount of $29,989 for the installation of street lights on Stage Line Road, 2019 street light replacement project. Approval of the plans and authorization to proceed with advertisement for bids for the Walnut Street improvement project.
Can you pull that one, please?
Yes. Reject bids received for the Grandview Park restroom facility and authorization to rebid the project with approved changes. Approve a fence easement agreement for 1805 Shasta Drive, Cassandra Boomeister. Place on file the second quarter utility report.
Move to approve.
Second.
We got a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item J. Is that right? Item J? Roll call?
Morissette.
Yes.
Holmes.
Yes.
DeZiel.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Atkins Hoggett.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Motion's approved. Item J?
Mike, can you come up? I probably should have asked you this during finance, and I'm sorry, I didn't. But I just wondered during that process, have we looked for any grants that might be available to help us with the funding on that?
No, I did not. So we pushed the project fast just because we're already kind of at the limit as far as getting the bids out, receiving the bids, approving the bids, scheduling the work, and getting the concrete done before October 15th, early October. So, I really didn't take the time to look at grants. So,
Is it too
simple
late?
answer. I don't know, what, I'm aware of like DNR, recreational boater, I'm not aware of anything that would do for maintenance of it's basically just maintenance of a
Walking
road, an LTAP grant or something like that, possibly, but post improvements,
Right. Probably too late.
yeah,
Okay.
yep.
So I was poking around now that Wisconsin the National League of Cities is on our radar again.
Yep.
I was just kind of poking around their website, and there are tons of grants listed on there, and I
Yeah.
don't know if that was
We're gonna
tapped
be
into as a
going-
resource.
Yeah, we're gonna be going after some of those monies for once the SEH comes out with a design plan for Vine Street, just because of all the pedestrian concerns that we've had up there, going for LTAP grant, another LTAP grant that we used on, the portion of Vine Street that we're doing now, just shifting it over for the next phase type of thing. So we'll be going
Okay.
after grant monies for that. But for this project, I did not.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
That's all. I would move to approve the plans and authorization and to proceed with advertisement for bids for the Walnut Street Improvement Project.
Second?
Motion second, discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Discussion and possible action on approving the agreement with CWS Security Watch to install a new door system at the police department and funding in the amount of $30,000 for the new door system at the police department. Brent?
So the card access system that we've been working on getting replaced died a couple weeks ago due to a power failure. I've been working with Catherine Van Kittrick and CWS to come to agreeable terms for the terms of agreement, which we have. We are asking for $4,000 more to cover the cost of the garage door openers we had to buy because it's the only way in and out of the police department currently, other than the lobby during business hours. And to cover the cost of the repairman to come look at the system to determine that it has died and is not repairable, and also cover any other equipment that may have died during that power failure.
Jenny, did you find out where we had pulled the money for the,
It was from the unreserved funds.
it came from the unreserved funds? Okay. I'll make the motion to approve this and to take the balance from the unreserved funds.
Second.
Motion second, discussion? Oh.
In reading some of this, I inferred that our previous contractor perhaps failed, disappeared. Am I correct on that? Whoever installed it and was responsible for?
Well, the system came with the building when we purchased it back in 2009.
Okay. All right.
And that system was installed in the mid-90s, I believe.
Okay. So it's good.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion's approved. Thanks, Brian. Discussion of possible, I'm sorry, we were pulling 8A. That's going to be taken up by public safety. Discussion and possible action on Resolution 14-19, a resolution authorizing the filling of financial assistance. Is that supposed to be filing of financial or filling of?
Filing?
Filing of, okay. Filing of financial assistance from the State of Wisconsin Environmental Improvement Fund for its wastewater facility. Kip?
I don't know if you just want to do the next one too right away if you can. I can just talk about both of them right away.
In a hurry?
Well, you should probably have a separate motion in
Okay.
case they each need a.
Okay, so Resolution 1419, these are just resolutions that are needed to apply for state financial assistance for our wastewater treatment facility project that we have through the Wisconsin Environmental Improvement Fund. Resolution 14-19, this authorizes the finance director as the authorized representative for the city of Hudson for the purpose of filing the applications. So it's just given, you guys are given it's the exact same one that we did for well 10. You approved Brenda as the file, or as the signature to file the applications and things like that. Any monies that we receive, any monies that we borrow through bonds and stuff, obviously come back to you for approval and things like that. But it's just daily things that need to be signed and sent and stuff like that. So it's authorizing the finance director to do that.
Okay.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second?
Motion and second to suspend, roll call.
Morrison.
Yes.
Alms.
Yes.
DeZiel.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Atkins Hoggett.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Motion's approved, rules are suspended.
Move to adopt Resolution 14-19.
Second?
Motion and second to adopt. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action on Resolution 15-19, a resolution declaring official intent to reimburse expenditures from proceeds of borrowing.
Resolution 1519 is a resolution that declares official intent to reimburse expenditures from bond proceeds once bonds are issued. So, in easy terms, until bonds are issued, we will front money if needed. Like for our engineering, we've got engineering costs already incurred through this project. So, once bonds are issued, it basically reimburses us. So that's what your resolution 1519 is.
Move to suspend the rules.
Second.
Motion and second to suspend, roll call.
Morrison.
Yes.
Alms.
Yes.
DeZiel.
Yes.
Weber.
Yes.
Atkins Hoggett.
Yes.
Hall.
Yes.
Motion's approved, rules are suspended.
Move to approve resolution 15-19.
Second.
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Thanks, Kip. Discussion possible action on entering into a temporary staging / laydown site lease agreement between the City of Hudson and Northern States Power Company, St. Croix County Tax Parcel 236-1295-00-000.
What's this for? I mean, besides, if this is for this supposedly, if this is just cleaning up the property, I'm okay with that, but if this is for a path,
No,
then I would slow this down.
no. This is just a job site trailer for the removal of the contaminated materials at this point in time. The trail extension will be brought to Park Board at the next meeting for discussion and feedback from community members, neighborhood, that type of thing.
Yeah,
We will be sending out
residents really need to
notices.
be
Yep.
talked to. I think maybe even Sarah was,
Yep.
contacted by people.
Yep.
And-
So this is just a job site trailer for the remediation work.
And Michael, is any notice going out to any of the people who live down there that there's going to be a trailer and removal and? We just don't want it to come in anybody's backyard as a big surprise.
Not that I'm aware of, but we can certainly send one out.
Just those people right along that block on
That are
First Street
adjacent to
would be
it.
great.
Okay,
Mhm.
yep.
Thank you.
I can have Excel Energy drafted up since it's their project. Just let Andrea know that, send out a letter or,
Maybe even to the people on River Street as well, because they use
Okay.
that area, it's just 2 blocks, so
okay,
pretty,
yep, I can do that.
I don't know if they're complaining to you, but make sure that you're the conduit between them and Excel, because Excel can tend to not come off very friendly,
Sure, yep,
because it's their property, is what I've heard.
yeah,
So, make sure those residents are well aware of what's going on.
okay, yep, will do,
thank you.
no problem.
Motion?
I'd motion to approve.
Second.
Motion second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Communications from me. We have I would like to appoint Scott St. Martin as our emergency manager. This had been Josh in the past. And I apologize. Devin and I had talked about this a couple months ago. I thought that it had been on the agenda, but apparently it had not. And this was also taken up recently by the EMS Commission, I think the most recent EMS Commission, with, I believe, unanimous recommendation for Chief St. Martin.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second to approve. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. That's all I've got. Anything from anybody? Mike?
Just have 2 project communications that I want to state to you and anybody who's watching. Carmichael Road, Total Excavating is going to be doing the temporary or I should say designated left-hand turn lane into Phillips. And so based upon some communications and trying to get that project completed before the start of school, they're going to be doing a hard closure on Carmichael at the Albert Street off-ramp and detouring traffic through the St. Croix Meadow site where people can continue south on Carmichael on the South Brecken entrance. So just want to make people aware of that. And they're planning on setting up the detour plan starting tomorrow and looking at actually paving shoulder on Wednesday already. Second thing is Heritage Greens and Hudson Meadows, the GSB application that was scheduled to start on Wednesday, and we sent letters out to 450 residents. Got a call from the contractor today saying that they're finishing up in the city that they're in tonight. They want to get in here tomorrow, and so I authorized them to get in here tomorrow. Otherwise, they were going to skip us and go down to Iowa and then catch us on the way back. So rather than push back the project and run into fall weather type of thing situation again, I authorized them to go ahead and get started tomorrow, and it's only going to take 1 day. So they'll be in and out tomorrow. So that's just a little deviation from the original plan, 1 day up. So just wanted to communicate that as well.
Okay,
Thanks.
thank you. Anybody else? We have a motion?
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned. Thanks, everybody.